Relax. It's very easy. We're just going to sit here and breathe. To start off with, any questions? Anyone unfamiliar with Zen? Any question? Any comment? What is meditation? More people. Oh, plenty of you. Let's start again. So welcome everyone. Who meditates regularly here? Familiar with Zen? A little bit? Read a book or something? Been on a week-long retreat, anyone? Or long weekend retreat? Zen meditation. So, within meditation traditions, one can say in one way that Zen has some unique features. So the question really is what, if you take it away from Zen, it's no longer Zen. One might say Zazen or meditation, one might say, I don't know, any number of things. Buddha, the idea of a Buddha. But really it's central to Zen is, in a way, Buddha nature, you could say. But it's really the idea of awakening as sudden awakening or satori. So, Zen is concerned with that question. Popular meditation, like, oh, we can learn a technique of meditation so we have maybe solve an emotional problem, or we feel better, or we're happier, or any number of things. And actually, Zen meditation would say none of that really matters very much. It's a little bit what's the word? Cutting through to the more essential thing. In other words, what's really important is a meditation practice that works in all circumstances, not just when we're feeling good. So the question is, and this is true in the story of the Buddha's awakening, is what did he awaken to? What is this awakening about? So Zen is looking at methods and ways of addressing this very essential core human quest or human dilemma. So basic meditation, is body. We have a body, right? What is this body we take for granted? Breathing? Everyone learn how to breathe? It's difficult. It takes many years to learn. And really, again, in the Zen process, we might say unlearning. You have all this clutter in the way. We have to unlearn. We have to deconstruct. We have to cut through to who we are through understanding our interrelationship, this sense of I, one can, who you are, with breathing body awareness. Like past. Everyone? Past? We are human beings. We have past. Future? Anyone, please show me your past. Or show me your future. So I think it's really quiet. Why do we get so quiet when we say such a simple thing? Because we don't have an answer. Where is it? So this our essential nature is how to embrace our, in Zen they would say, our essential self or selfless self in this very moment, in this present moment. Embracing this selfless self. And this cuts through the whole human condition, really. Cuts through all problems, all issues, everything. You don't have to look for, oh, now I'm dealing with my anger, now I'm dealing with my fear, now I'm dealing... We tend to hyper-analyze. Oh, simple. Breathing, body awareness, this present moment. Can we find this negative emotion we've named? Where is it? Cannot be found. You can try though. It's good exercise. So, breathing, body awareness. When you meditate, eyes closed or eyes open?
Could be either way.
One eye open, one eye closed? When you drive a car, eyes open or eyes closed?
Eyes open.
Generally open.
Generally. 50-50.
Yeah.
So in meditation it's important, we're not trying to go away somewhere. It's not an escape, it's not a scary movie. Not only thoughts, feelings, emotions, all our sensations, hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, feeling, are misperceived. We're not trying to escape them. We don't engage them completely. So through the body, through all our sensations, through all these things, is the experience of our awakened mind. It's not something separate. In Mahayana Buddhism in general and in Zen, samsara and nirvana, the illusions of samsara and awakening of nirvana are one thing. It's only our misperception that we think that we must leave this to get back. Very radical idea. It's found in many global religious traditions, spiritual traditions, but not usually in the more common approach. So Zen wants to cut through to this very essential experience. Cut through. So breathing, body awareness, posture. Eyes are typically, actually in all Buddhist meditation, eyes are open, believe it or not. Whether it's Theravadins, Tibetans, or wherever. A little bit open, not wide open, not closed. Closed, you get sleepy, tend to get more chatter going. Wide open, you tend to get distracted, but just a little bit open. And blinking normally, very relaxed. Breathing is, everyone has a lot of experience, at least a few years experience breathing correctly. Everyone remember? Age 2. This is how you need to learn to breathe again, like a 2-year-old. How do 2-year-olds breathe? You don't remember? So, belly breathing, deep, relaxed, completely inhaling, exhaling, whole world inhale, exhale, without getting caught by the elements of attachment, just inhaling, exhaling, everything as it is. Chatterbox, goes, stopping, going, stopping. Just don't jump in the train and have a big party, just let it come and go. Along for the ride. Hands can be relaxed, it's okay. Zen, if you get used to it, then you make a mudra, hands on the body center, the tongue. And all these things are very helpful, very practical. I guarantee you can experiment on your own. Just, I'm kind of giving the essence, but in practice, for example, how to say it, like the hand mudra on the abdomen, right around the navel, is unbelievably relaxing. Try it for half an hour. So this helps provide a good base, for Zen practice. The posture they call seven-pointed posture of Vairochana Buddha. It's this seven-pointed posture, like Prakar is seated now, knees are on the, or down, Basically, like I'm sitting this way, it's also okay, Or sitting in a chair is fine also. Though it's better if you're sitting in a chair. The issue with breathing is that unless your knees are below your hips, your breathing is restricted automatically. You can experiment at home. As soon as your knees are below, your belly opens. You have to try to open. And then open breathing means open fluidity of body and mind as everything that, thoughts, feelings, emotions, memories, all these things. Adds some support to that process. Any comments or questions? It's a good time now, and we'll meditate for a while. So one can think that every time you inhale, all thoughts, feelings, emotions, memories, everything is arising. When you exhale, everything disappears. And then, again, everything arises, everything disappears. I'll ring the bell, and I'll sit for a while. And then, I'll ring the bell maybe around midnight when we're done. Just testing if you're awake. This is the first day of the 7-day retreat, huh? Or did Jeff tell me wrong? 10 days. Okay. Everyone thought I was joking, that it's the beginning of a 7-day retreat. It's actually worse. It's the whole rest of your life retreat. Or better, depends how you look at it. Any questions? Comments? Tibetan teacher, I don't know why this comes to mind, it's a bit, anyway, Chogyam Trungpa, a Tibetan teacher, said to a student once, he had a tendency to push the edge a little bit. The bad news is everyone, or he said you to this person, you've just been thrown out of an airplane and you have no parachute. The good news is there's no bottom. So what does that mean? It's completely let go. So meditation, this kind of meditation that cuts through our life dimensional issues to this center of who we are, is to completely let go in this present moment. Embrace means embracing the present moment, not being caught by the present
moment. This notion of embracing the present moment and letting go, sometimes it can result in an interpretation of, just doing nothing or being lazy. It can.
Yeah. Or it can also result in anything's okay.
Yeah. I'm just sleeping.
So, question?
So, but I don't think that's the interpretation. It's more like you have to act whatever comes up in the moment. So how does that correlate with letting go?
Our habitual tendency is when you hear the sound of the bell, we think the bell is way over there somewhere, and that I am way over here somewhere, and that sound of the bell has nothing to do with me. Or any other example in our life. Right? Is this stick? It's really even, I'm not much into neuroscience, but even what I just did, that whole movement happened without me thinking at all. Thinking actually comes a split second after. This is actually, it's hard. They can't figure out how it works yet, and they probably won't, but this is really amazing, What's going on? We think I am doing X, Y, or Z. I am listening to the bell. I am in the Zen world. I am the bell. How? This gets so, it's not that things are far away, it's that they're so close, we override everything with our habitual tendencies and we don't experience things as they are. As myself, the bell, hearing the bell, the sound of the bell. All these three things are not separate. We wouldn't be able to do or hear or sense anything if all these things were separate. It wouldn't be possible. Yet we think they are, because our sense of self is so tightly bound that we think that this little thing This me has a separate identity that exists all by itself, that is watching all these things happen and can manipulate them and do things with them, and accept or reject, build something that belongs to me. All of this comes out of what? This sense of separate self. Yet, and they'll do this in a more analytical way, even in Vajrayana Tibetan Buddhism, quote, try to find that self sometime. Just sit there, try to find it. In this present moment, try to find that self. That fixated self. Yeah, okay, I do have a history, all these things. But we fixate on it, create this identity, and it's separate from everything. So this completely blocks the center of how self and thoughts and the objectification all rise together at the same time. So if we allow it to happen, we merge with that sound. Self as sound of the bell. Okay? Then it's like a split second later, oh, it's a bell. I see the bell. That comes afterwards, not before. Is this important? What happens when we get tangled up with something? It's mine. It's not yours. It's this happens repeatedly. Human conflicts and things. All this arises from that misunderstanding. So meditation in this way clarifies these, begins the process of opening up how to clarify this interrelationship, the seamless relationship between self and other. Makes sense from that. Comment there? And we experience this all the time. We just tend to escape by it or override it. We actually do. All of a sudden, this beautiful sunset, some little thing, always little things, breaks through. Oh, it's so wonderful. Some small thing someone does, or some little thing. So this is about opening that more fully. And then sometimes they're more pronounced. It's not even good to call it an experience, but more pronounced events, I guess. Abraham Maslow, a psychologist in the 70s, I guess, talked about peak experience. He documented more in highly creative people. It happened anywhere. So in Zen they call Satori experience. That's when there's a more pronounced breakthrough into this seamless experience of self and other. Any other question?
How does the letting go relate to the idea that we're trying to develop in meditation of one pointed mind? I've seen the concept discussed in a few books, right? It's talk about being one pointed. But that seems to be like an incredible focus, but at the same time, we're also supposed to be letting go. How do you expound on that? Maybe?
Yeah, it can be put like one Zen famous Zen teacher Takuan. Takuan is rather famous in Japan, Japanese history, because for two reasons. One is he popularized the pickled radishes of daikon, and pickled radishes actually became called takuan after his name. The other thing he's very famous for is he tamed and subdued the very famous swordsman Miyamoto Musashi. It was Takuan who trapped Musashi in the tree and then in the attic and then tied him up and calmed him down a bit. Before that, Musashi had killed scores of people and other horrific things. And he was still a swordsman after that, but it was much more within that certain code of ethics and method. So Takuan was a real character, very extraordinary Zen teacher. But Takuan talked about, of the mind, we must be mindful. Okay? But ultimately, of this mind, it must be let go of. Otherwise, and I see this a lot, one just becomes in a continuous, hyper-vigilant whack-a-mole kind of meditation. This is not really what's going on. It may be helpful in the beginning, but ultimately, the ultimate view, everything arising is just as it is. They say in Dzogchen, Tibetan tradition, self-liberates. There is nothing negative to be gotten rid of. It's our delusional mind that misperceives things. This takes some maybe longer meditation retreat kind of practice. But releasing and cutting through this whole thing. So of this mind, it must be let go. At the same time, it's true. I mean, all you have to do is to visit a Zen temple in Japan, and you can't find a place more specifically focused beyond our average conception. In our normal life, everything is extremely exacting. Meditations are down to the minute. Nothing is diverges. Form is very strong, but form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. So the form is not for its own sake. The view is very important, or one will be stuck in a kind of, again, hyper-vigilant state all the time. This is right, that is wrong. As soon as you're thinking like that, then maybe helpful concentrated discipline, but that's all it is. Any other comments, questions? Is that helpful or not? Oh, 5 minutes only. I was going to sit for a whole half hour. Oh my gosh. I'll have to squeeze it into 5 minutes. So, 5 minutes. Thank you, everyone. Again, back to you. Just a good book to read would be The Unfettered Mind by Takuan. So, a very short book, tiny little book. Takes decades to read. Trust me, I've done this. It's a wonderful book. Good translation, easy to find. And then generally for everyone, Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind by Suzuki Roshi. Can be read and reread at any stage of one's practice, and more comes out of his talks at San Francisco Zen Center in the late 60s. Another very short text is the Shin Shin Ming, it's called, Verses on Trust in Mind or Faith Mind by the third Chan ancestor or patriarch. Good to read, just to read, and don't worry about understanding, just read it. It's only, I forget. What is that called? Shin Shin Ming, H-S-I-N, Shin means the heart mind, trust in the heart mind. There's dozens of translations. It's short, it's 100 lines, I think. Less, I forget the number.
What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
Ken. Yeah, Shin Shin Ming, trust in the faith mind. Short little thing, many translations. I think Red Pine has a new translation. Red Pine is a good translator. Diamond Sutra. Many Chinese texts.
Trust in the what?
Faith mind.
Faith?
Faith. Trust in the faith mind. Mind of